growing up on the spectrum. I have ADD, and I had a third grade teacher who told me I would never graduate from high school.
Wow.
She told me to my face. And, I have a master's degree in real estate. I've sold over $300 million in my career. And I don't say that to gloat. I share that to try and inspire those that, are, feeling down on their luck, those that, may be frustrated. So, my grandparents came here with nothing to this country, and it's just along the way, my dad, you know, through my grandfather, linked up with some colleagues, and we're able to start a business, and we found success, in development in real estate, and it's been a great ride.
You wouldn't turn back?
I don't live life with regrets. Every single opportunity, there's something to learn. I feel like you learn more from your failures than you do from your successes. I always tell people you can't appreciate winning if you don't know what it's like to lose.
Yeah. So this is a great segue into, let's say somebody's listening to this, right? And it feels like all they've done in their life is lose. What advice for them in their wealth building journey?
So, that's a great question. I believe, in life, what's required is definitely a lot of determination, the willpower to continue. It's difficult when you feel like you haven't you need to be or want to be, right? That willingness to sometimes it's really digging deep and finding it within yourself to continue moving forward.
What is that? Where do you pull from? Where does that come from for you?
For me, it's just it's people from when I was a kid. It's people telling me that I was not going to make it, or that I wasn't good enough along the way. A lot of people, just to share very personal. I was growing up on the spectrum. I have ADD, and I had a third grade teacher who told me I would never graduate from high school.
Wow.
She told me to my face, and I have a master's degree in real estate. I've sold over $300 million in my career. And I don't say that to gloat. I share that to try and inspire those that, are, feeling down on their luck, those that, may be frustrated, where they're at right now, to let them know, hey, look, there is opportunity for you and you are going to make it. It's really just continuing to move forward. On the hardest days, I've been there, especially as an entrepreneur. Who you surround yourself with is so important. Having that support. I tell people all the time, if it weren't for my wife, I don't know where I'd be. So having that constant support, having people that want to see you win around you is so important.
So important. And that's a great segue, right? So my husband and I believe that it's okay to rent and it's okay to lease when you're leasing the belief in yourself from somebody else until you own it for yourself. So who's that person that you can remember in your life that you had to rent belief in yourself from until you own it?
My team leader right now, Audrey Ross. She is someone that is wildly successful, yet so humble. And you ask anybody about her, and everyone loves her. Everyone sees her as an icon. Everyone sees her as the quintessential businesswoman. The one of the most successful entrepreneurial women across the country. Constant belief in me. Sometimes I think she believes in me more than I believe in myself.
That's how I felt about Rob.
It's to walk into that environment every single day. It's very uplifting. I'm very big on culture. Growing up playing competitive sports, culture has always been very important to me. And, having that cohesiveness, having a room of teammates that they want to see you succeed. They're very happy for you. There's no ego. It's all about collaboration. It's all about how can I help you get to the next level? How can I help you grow your business? So that to me means the world. It takes a village to be successful. I tell people all the time. I was at a high school the other day talking to some students, and I told them, look, I give them some advice, and I said, one of those was when you find your vibe, you find your. So I said, find other passionate people like you, and find something that you absolutely love, and be the best at it. Pursue, have an obsession with constantly getting better. I'm a big Kobe Bryant, though. I always admired his passion for getting better. He was never complacent, even when he was sick, even when he was tired. He found it within himself to continue getting better and to make everyone around him better. He would never settle for anything. If he saw you miss a shot, miss a pass, he would get on top of you. And it wasn't because he wanted to see you get better. Really for improving every single day, for yourself, for your team, for your family.
Right. Yeah, I thank you so much wisdom in that. I hope people are writing notes. But I do have to ask, we all have different, various clients, right? All different price ranges, all different net worths. From the wealthiest clients that you work with, what are some of the habits or some of the things that you are implementing in your life, or that you wish that, let's say, first time home buyers would implement in their life if they just knew what your wealthiest clients did?
Sure. So, and my wealthiest clients, a lot of them have the same habits. They're up at 5:30 in the morning. They really know how to delegate. So those that are successful, they realize there are certain tasks that they can, when they have a team around them that is really dialed in and know what they're doing, they can delegate those smaller tasks to. They can focus on running the business and growing the business. And they look at their team not as an expense, but as an investment. The most successful people focus on education, reading. They're constantly looking to gain more knowledge. They obsess over the idea of improving any little thing in their business. What I've noticed is so dialed, but at the same time, they really take time, because a lot of them do have families, a lot of them have wives and kids. So they take time, and this is something that I've seen with Jeff Bezos. He says, I like to take time in the morning. I have puttering time, where he says, I don't have any meetings before 10 a.m. He'd say, I have breakfast with my kids. He goes, I spend time with them, we laugh, we joke, I find out what's going on with them in school, activities, so it's really just about finding that balance. I'll admit, even personally, it's a struggle. And I don't have kids yet, so it's just, I know it's only going to get harder as life goes on. But really just about trying to find a balance between personal and professional life. So and the most successful entrepreneurs, they have it down to a science.
So many things that you said there that really speak volumes to your character, which makes me believe that you spent a lot of money and a lot of time on developing your character and who I see today, who's sitting in front of me. How much time and how much money do you think you spent in self-development over the years?
Oof. It's definitely in the six figures. I see it really as an investment, not an expense. See it as an investment in not only my business, but eventually growing a team, right, further down the line. So I look at it through a different lens, right? So I think it's really important to focus on the educational component, right? With so much noise in our business, especially this past year, we've seen a lot of changes with the National Association of Realtors, structural integrity reserve studies with a lot of the condos. I'm sure you're aware the Champlain Towers in Surfside, which collapsed a few years ago. So insurance business. So there's a lot. Sometimes it's just fighting disinformation, because there's a lot of that from the media. social media. There's a lot of misinformation. So it's really just about educating the consumer and helping them make better decisions. At the end of the day, it's really two jobs that we have in our business. It's one, education, and two, managing expectations. I think I had clear and precise expectations from the beginning, and you know how to manage them. I always tell my clients, look, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. Whether that's good, bad, or ugly. And yes, sometimes we may have to have uncomfortable conversations. It's part of the business, right? I'd rather be honest, transparent with you, because if I lie to you, I'm doing a disservice to you, and it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of mine. So I'm always going to be straightforward with you, and I would say like it is. Whether you like to hear that or not, it's very important. A lot of value in that. People don't realize sometimes, whether it's taking an overpriced listing, or it's a buyer that says, hey, I want to submit a lowball offer. It's really just kind of bringing them back in and saying, hey, look, I don't think it's a good idea because of XYZ reason. Here is the market. Here's what the statistics look like.
For that education.
Correct.
Yes. Somebody who's listening to this, really listen to what you have to say in regards to just the little nuances of, educating yourself, like figures like Kobe Bryant, right? Discipline, getting better. So thank you for sharing that. I have asked a couple other people that have been on this podcast about things that they had to unlearn, right? Or things that they had to heal from in order to be this person or the best version of them. What is one thing that you had to heal from or had to unlearn?
That's a very good question. I would say I'm harder on myself than anyone is on me. What I had to heal from or learn from is that, because of course we all fail, and it's frustrating. Sometimes you question certain things going on, and this is really through life experience, through maturity. It's learning from those failures. It's finding the silver lining when things don't go your way. It's realizing you can't control every single situation. I was so, I was wired differently before, and I realized that not everything is going to go my way. I can't lose my cool when things don't go my way that are outside of my control. So it was really kind of it was a learning lesson for me, and I'm glad I had that, because it really changed my mindset completely on business. How I run my business, how I approach it every single day. And I tell people all the time, we don't have to work with everybody. And when I meet with clients at the beginning, I tell them, whether it's a buyer, whether it's a seller, I say we need to make sure we have good communication. Communication is very important to me, number one. Number two, I need to make sure there's mutual respect there. That's very important to me as well. And we need to make sure we're a good fit for one another. Because if we're not a good fit for one another, this is going to be a waste of time for both of us. So I think it's really important that you kind of reflect on that. Going back to athletics, because I grew up playing sports, I would watch game film after every single game, even if it went flawless, and I would look at, okay, how can I get better, right? So it was really just that shift in mindset. And one of the suggestions I would give to everyone is, I've done it already, there's a course called Ninja Selling. Highly recommended.
Even if someone isn't in real estate?
Even if someone's not in real estate. It's applicable. That and the DISC.
I love the DISC assessment.
So
what are you?
I started off as an I.
Interesting.
So, but that's when I took it in 2013.
Okay.
I took it in 2020. I was exactly in the middle between all four quadrants. So in business, in life, I think it's important, if you want to get the best out of everybody, you have to learn how to be a chameleon. You have to learn how to pivot. You have to learn how to adapt to whomever is in front of you,
Right.
to get the best out of that person, right? So I use DISC assessment on my wife, parents,
I
on
did
my
that
siblings,
too.
on my friends, on everybody I meet. So I really analyze body language, behavior, how they interact with other people. I think that's really important. It says a lot about them. It says a lot about their character, their personality, who they were raised.
Right.
So all those things are super important. So ninja selling, I'll tell you, personally, has changed my career. I went last year from 5 million in sales to this year doing 24 million. A lot of it was ninja. It was changing the mindset, right? And asking very pointed questions. Earlier this year, I had an opportunity to list the property on the water, which we sold for $7 million. We actually double-ended that listing.
Just to be clear, so people are listening, when you say on the water, where is that in Florida?
So it was in Coral Gables. It was in a community called Snapper Creek. We represented both the buyer and the seller.
Well, it sounds like you do a lot of sizes. So what I learned this year is the difference between gratitude and acknowledgement, right? Gratitude is the things that you can't control. You're thankful for the air, you're thankful for the seats, all of the different things. But acknowledgement is when you thank yourself for the things that you did to get here. What do you do to really acknowledge what you've done to get you? I mean, listening to your stories from going from the third grade, like someone telling you you're not going to graduate from high school to where you're sitting now.
That's a great question. So part of what Ninja teaches you is gratitude and affirmations. So I do my daily affirmations and gratitude every single day. When I wake up in the morning, before I touch my phone, before I have coffee, before I eat breakfast, before I go to the gym, I do my gratitude and my affirmations. What I'm thankful for, it could be my wife, it could be my family, it could be my dog, it could be, my team, it could be, I don't know, a friend of mine that helped me with something, that I'm grateful for, and then it's goal setting. It's okay, this week I'm going to do X. I'm going to go on 2 listing appointments. I'm going to pick up 2 new buyers. When you obsess over the idea of constantly getting better, constantly improving, not to get too philosophical, but I feel I feel like God put us on this planet for a reason. And we all have a purpose, and it should be our life's mission to fulfill that purpose, whatever that is. So I feel like my purpose, especially coming from an immigrant family, is to help every single American, every single person here in the United States, that dream of buying a home. Will, I was telling your husband, I said, if you have a will to be a homeowner, I'm going to get you there.
I love that.
I just need you to grab my hand. I just need you to trust me. We're gonna find and develop a plan to get you to homeownership. Whether that's a month from now, but we're gonna get you. I always said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
100%.
So, if we can put a plan in place, and I tell, hey, look, this is what we need to do. As long as you complete X, Y, and Z, and we're gonna get you to a new home, and you're not gonna have to pay rent anymore.
I bet you people cry.
I've had several. that have, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. To know that you had such an impact in someone's life. It's such a beautiful feeling. I've met some of my clients when they're single, and then they get married and they have kids. They send me pictures, send me postcards. It's such a great feeling. It's such a blessing to be a part of that. Know the fact that you made a difference in their life. No amount of money can, when someone tells me it was because of you that all of this happened. I mean, it's such a wonderful feeling. Waking up every single day, knowing that you're making a difference in someone else's life, and what you're doing means so much to them. I've had people tell me, I came from XYZ country. I never thought I would be able to buy a home. And you helped me realize that home ownership was achievable for me. I mean, that knowing that I can be a part of that, it's the best feeling in the world. I tell people, don't. I'm not saying money's not. We all have to feed our families. We all have to keep a roof over our head, but find something you really love. Find something you're passionate about. Find something that you wake up every single day and you're in a great mood, and you know that you're making a difference. There's no greater feeling, really.
Sebastian, I just want to reflect on what you just shared with me. It was so impactful. I know that you're living, I call it an assignment from God or your soul contract. I believe that we all come on this earth and we sign a contract and we go, you know what, God, let me do that. I'm going to choose this avatar. I'm going to come down and I'm going to be of service. And the two dates that are the most important in your life is the day that you're born and the day you know why. And it's such a blessing to sit across from you and to hear, that you found your assignment and you know what your why is, because there's people that can go through life and never know. And there's a joy in that. And I look forward to the day that you tell me that you have a child and you're able to pass down the knowledge that you've learned. As much as you're learning now, I can't tell you how much you're going to learn from your children. You think you're teaching them, they're teaching you,
Yeah.
And I know that you're going to be a great father. I think it would be a blessing and an honor for anyone to work with you. And I just want to thank you. I believe that time and attention is also currency. So thank you for allowing me to have some of your time. Thank you for the knowledge that you dropped, the work that you've done on yourself. I can see it, and the people who are watching can see it too, and it will inspire them to be the best and highest expression of themselves, to not only own the space that they're physically in, but also own the space that they're mentally living in. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. It really it's been amazing. Thank you for the opportunity to share with your audience. I always love doing these things because if there's anything we can do is inspire. Kobe Bryant said the best thing you can do is inspire others so that they can be great in whatever they choose to do. And that's really what I for every single day is inspire people to pursue greatness, to be better than the next generation, to be the best at what they want to do, whatever it is that you love, it within yourself, to pursue that passion feverishly. Don't let anybody ever tell you, hey, you can't do this. I'm here to tell you that you can. You can do it, and you will be successful. Yeah, there may be some dark days ahead. There may be some turbulence or maybe challenges along the way. But don't ever let that deter you. Achieving what it is that you really want to do. I'll tell you that FIU, at some local high schools, talking to some of the student athletes, and I talked to them how just like you have a playbook that you study and implement on the field, me, your financial advisor, your attorney, your sports agent are going to put together the financial playbook for your life.
Ooh, that was a gem. That just might be used as
that's the focus. When you retire, you have passive income. You have money continuing to come in until you figure out what the next chapter is going to be. Like I said, within the minority community, where there's a lack of resources, and being a voice of change and knowledge, and seeing them find success long term, right? You see people like Shaquille O'Neal, you see people like Udonis Haslem, Dwayne Wade, that they, even before they retired, they already started setting up businesses.
right.
They're right. So I tell them, look, this is really important, to have the right people around you.
Right.
People that want to see you succeed. People that want to help you build. You had LeBron James. You have his sports agent. Forget right now. He put him in charge a while back. He's very well for himself. With much power and money comes responsibility. You have a responsibility to pay it forward. You have a responsibility to lend a helping hand. Especially as a minority, we need to go to other minorities and help them get ahead as well.
More growth you have, and even just, if it's 1%, right? Or like you said, if you touch somebody, I know that you already have, and there's going to be many more, but if it's just one person that's listening to this that gets touched, I just want you to leave some kind of response in the comment, and so that he can
Please.
see the impact that he's having on the world.
Thank you so much.